kill the fan.
Yeah. I don't have high eyes. These are sober eyes.
Hold up, I would've grown all day. Hold up, somebody can't relate. Hold up, stay down with no faking. Go up, top down, I've been racing. Go up.
Hey, what's up, my people, my YouTubers, our followers, everybody who joins us at the Royalty Review. Thanks for joining us on this Labor Day weekend. Today we're going to be reviewing Power 2, the Book of Ghost. I believe that's the correct name. I'm trying my best. This is going to be the first time that we're actually starting reviewing something from episode 1 on this. It's really not its first season, but technically it's its first season because it's book 2. But if you're here, you've probably already been a Power fan. So leave us, your comments about what you guys think is going to happen or who your favorite character from the original series was. And we'll go ahead and get into this review today.
Yes.
So just for starters, do you have an initial reaction to the episode overall?
I was surprised and I was excited. I didn't expect a lot. I don't know what I expected from Tariq to watch the show and to see it from his perspective and it be strictly about him. It's different. So I like it so far, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm already upset. Straight up disclaimer. I was upset at Tariq for killing Ghost because I felt like he was a privileged ass little kid and he was mad because he wasn't being sat down at the adult table and he was upset. So my respect for Tariq started off very low.
Yeah, he doesn't like Tariq.
Very low, but
he's one of those people who don't like Tariq.
But towards the end of the Power series and in this first episode, they started really showing how much of a thinker he is, and they kind of foreshadowed that from when he was playing chess with that girl and stuff. And it really kind of delved on that how he was gonna be more than a one-dimensional thinker. He's gonna be playing the game at multiple levels like a chess player. Where you have to think moves ahead and you have to bait your opponent into doing this or know this kind of information. So since that kind of has been being revealed about Tariq, because he made a bunch of dumb fuck-ass boy mistakes in the beginning. And where I was like, this nigga's not street savvy. He's not going to be ready for this life. But since then, he's really straightened up. And he's really become a low-key mastermind, especially at his age.
Yeah, he has. And Tariq, he made a lot of mistakes, but I feel that Tariq is very smart. For example, going back to Power, do you remember the episode when he went to the neighbor's house and he played the part of selling candy? He knew how to approach her house. He wound up getting his friend killed. He didn't die, but he know how to play the part. He's really good at getting into character.
He's good at not dying himself and shit like that, but niggas around him dying, he got his twin sister killed. So anyway, that's just a little background on how I feel about Tariq. But like I said, he's really starting to impress me with his level of thinking. I really respect that about him because I'm always somebody who likes a thinker kind of person because I feel like that's how I am in real life. So I'm interested to see his level of finesse as time goes on, because he did finesse the fuck out of everybody at the end of Power.
Yes.
And that was a strong finesse. It wasn't just a whimsical finesse like Andre's weak ass finesses. It was a strong finesse.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the recap on this episode. Let's go ahead and break it down.
Okay.
So in the beginning, they have Tasha walking down in the bottom of the cell, and she's with the bailiff, and she's trying to claim that she was a battered wife, and the bailiff or the prison guard or whatever term you want to give the fucking pig. She's like, oh, you're a liar. Yeah, the CEO. She's like, you're a fucking liar. You would have been crying about body, all this. So she calls her bullshit right off the rip.
Off the rip.
And she's lying at her.
She had no sympathy for her, even though she was bruised and fucked up. She didn't really care.
Right, yeah. She saw right through that. She wasn't buying it.
She told her to tell the jury, not to me.
Right. John said she's seen millions and millions of bitches come march down through this hallway. She knows who's 100 and so she's a good mirror of what's what and shit. So then after that, so it goes right there. She's escorting her out of the prison into the courtroom, basically, because she's about to have her hearing, where she's ultimately denied bail.
Yes.
Due to...
Because the lawyer said the judge said she couldn't just let her go because she is in a murder. She has a murder charge. So she's like, I can't just let her go.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So she gets denied bail. Then she's in there, they're looking at her stuff like, okay, well, what are we going to do for our plea? And they're like, oh, well, she believes that, that Ghost was a killer. She was dealing with a killer. And they're laying down pictures of supposed people that Ghost killed. And they're going to lay down Keisha. And she's like, Right, looking all silly.
Yeah, bitch, you know you killed Keisha. That was unnecessary.
Right. Oh.
Unnecessary.
Let me just keep that one. That was Ghost. I was terrified for my life.
Right.
Whatever, nigga.
Whatever.
Tasha's such a liar. Her and that's where Tariq get it from. That's why he's so good at lying, because Tasha's a fucking liar, and I guess Ghost was to a certain extent too.
Yeah.
He was a big liar.
Yeah, they created that monster. So I mean, as much as we don't want him to be about that life, he wants to be about that life. So
he comes out. His grandma's there to greet him out after the court, where he tells her she'll deny bail. Grandma's Jazz is old, by the way. She's come a long way from choking on key rings.
Yaz.
Oh, it's Yaz?
Yeah, it's Yaz.
I thought her name was Jazz this entire time.
Or no, it's like Yazleen or something, but her name is Yaz.
Whatever. Well, she's an inconsequential character. Maybe she'll play a bigger role.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll start making Tariq feel guilty about getting Rainey killed. He'll have to explain that story. He needs to fess up to that, because that was his fault while he was hiding behind the wall. But I'm not going to keep on referring back to that. It's a new show. It's a new time.
Yes.
It's new things.
We're moving on.
So then the next scene, Tariq is supposed to be meeting with Simon for like
he had a 30-minute meeting. Yeah, he had an alert.
Yeah, to be up there in 30 minutes. He was supposed to be meeting, so he had to chop down there. And this is starting to become a theme with Tariq and being late, but we'll delve into that a little bit later. So he's chopping up there. He meets with the dean. He's meeting with Simon. You know that fucking Simon always comes with he's always a snake. There's always something else.
Hidden agenda.
Right. It's always a hidden agenda. There's always a +1. There's always something else under there. And I'm like, why is Simon even here? I'm like, he can't be one. I'm like, oh, he's probably trying to like take advantage of Tariq and like mold him into what he wanted Ghost to be, but Ghost was already set in his ways. I'm like, I don't want that, you know. But then he's like, oh yeah, I paid for you to get into this school, and you have to babysit this basketball player. Right when he said that, I was like, bro, that's babysitting, bro. When you have to be somebody's tutor for all their classes, and they're used to being a star athlete, that means that this nigga was not already doing shit in high school. He wasn't trying to keep up his GPA. He was just balling, and wherever he was coming from was letting him do that, because I'm pretty sure it was garnishing their money, whatever the case. School. So that's a new person. What's his name? Stansfield or some shit like that? That's the basketball player's name?
I didn't catch his name.
I think his name is Stansfield.
I know they mentioned his name, but I don't remember his name.
So he opens up a new connection and a whole new family.
Yes.
Which we'll delve into a little bit later when we talk about their connection.
Yes.
So at this point, we haven't met this person we're supposed to be tutoring. She was like, oh, well, maybe he's just somebody cool. You thought it was the white dude that once on the
because he walked in the room. So she said that they were roommates.
Yeah, that was just his homie and shit. And I was like, man, that's pure bullshit. Having to tutor somebody. And then sorry that it's hard school. You got to make sure that you pass so you can get your own money.
Exactly.
And you got to do this shit for this nigga.
It's double the work. So
and he's literally like
reading a book a day or book a week, like you said.
In that class.
Reading one book a week. So which means maybe in the other class, the other guy is reading one book a week, but that's still reading 2 books in 1 week, because he still has to do that week. Because, it's
like 3 books every 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's whack. So he leaves from that meeting knowing that information. He seems like he's down with it, whatever. He meets one of the girls who's in, I forgot what the name of the class was, colonialism. I can't even remember.
We'll put it up on the screen for you, because we don't know the name exactly. But
right.
We'll put it up on the screen somewhere here down below.
So she says there's light for blacks. We haven't met these classmates, nor do we get to meet them in the first episode. We've only met her, the light-skinned girl who came and approached him. But I'm interested to see his classmates, because then this spurs Tariq into trying to get into this class where the counselor...
This program gets him to where he has double the work, and he graduates 1 year earlier. Right. So he'll graduate as a junior versus a senior, so he can get his inheritance.
Right, and it's like an AP class. Like they're like she said, they're reading a book a week basically. Yes. It showed his little fucking itinerary and stuff. So my thing was like, since this is supposed to be like some pro-black class, because there's like, she said that there needed to be more black people in it. It was ran by the black counselor and shit like that. Is that going to lead Tariq to being more political in his character arc? Is he going to make him have more of a conscience towards the shit that he's doing in his community that's negative, or just whatever? Is that going to enlighten him to kind of taking the same path as Ghost and trying to become a political figure? Because now he's going to be in this class, he's going to be like really hands-on with this stuff. You can't kind of be in those kind of classes.
Right. And they actually didn't want to let him in, and then let him in, so he has to put on his game face, put the bullshit aside, and get with it. So
right.
I'm ready for it.
So after that conversation with girl, he goes and meets the counselor who's setting him up for this, and she talks to him about this class and tells him he has to take an entry test. So he's like, okay, I'll take the entry test. Tariq is smart. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I would do. Take the entry test. I wanted to point out this counselor was fine, bro. She was not looking like no counselor.
No, she didn't.
She was looking like she needed to be on P Valley. She needed to be down in the valley at one time.
Another show that we watched that we like.
So then she tells him about this entry exam, and she has to like string this meeting. She has to go up with Jabari and beg his case to that black dude who was her superior to even get him a spot at the meeting.
Yes.
So it kind of goes into that a little bit. We'll come back there. So then it goes back to Tasha and her silly ass situation. So they're talking about how she can get out the next day.
I'm already sick of this bitch.
Bro, she's trying to do so much to keep Reek safe. It's talking about how she can get out next day. And
it's a sweet deal.
Right, first deal.
It's a sweet fucking deal.
It was like, get out the next day, just tell the truth. You know, I don't even think that first deal had probation with it. I think it was just like, get out. Get out of jail.
And it wasn't give up the name either. I don't think she had to give up the name the first time around when she fired.
She just had to tell the truth about the situation. Because she was like, oh, you got to know about how, you got to tell them about the person who you was meeting with, who was your accomplice.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't give up the name. Then she fired Famo. And everything started taking a turn for the worse. And I'm like, bro, she's going to end up doing more time because of Tariq. This is my thought at that moment. And I'll go through my different phases of thought as we move through the episode because this continues to evolve as a thing. So she's placed with this deal and she doesn't want to give up her accomplice. And then she fires her lawyer because the lawyer figures out who her accomplice is.
Instantly.
She looks at her like,
instantly.
Oh, Tariq. Bitch, yeah. Bitch, yeah, everybody know that. She trying to blame it on Andre, but this nigga was the Human Torch long ago. Like, he got burned up. He didn't have no gunpowder on his clothes. Everybody knew it wasn't him.
After Tasha already got caught lying multiple times, she wanted to just throw names out there. Oh, it was this, it was that. And then now so keep going.
So she fired her lawyer. So at that point, I'm like, she definitely going to jail. At first, I was like, she going to end up doing her more time fucking with Tyree. Now I'm like, she definitely going to jail.
She fired that bitch off the roof. You're fired. You're fired.
So
get out. I was like, wow. Like, she seems to like be genuine and like trying to really get her help. Like, trying to be of assistance.
Right. Knowing, like, she's kind of complicit in everything with Angela and all these things, and she's still, like, trying to help her and get her off. So I was confused about that relationship, but I know that they're working together towards the end and everything, but just the fact that she was so loyal, and then she was like, no, fuck that. Boom. So Reek then gets the idea to go hire Meth, who's playing a lawyer. His name is Davis, and he's, like, the shit. He's like a really good defense lawyer, and he is known
She advised Tariq, get a lawyer that doesn't need the truth to win.
Right. He's known for playing a little bit. He doesn't play by the book. You know, he's known for going a little bit and playing by his own. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, guess who that person could have been had Tommy not killed him? Oh, Proctor. Oh, Tariq, had you not let the door open and let Proctor get killed, guess who you could use right now, who's loyal to your father?
Right.
And if you didn't know that you killed him, guess who you could use?
But it was Uncle Tommy. What could you have done?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, Tommy ain't to be fucked with.
I mean,
but Tommy give the order, you listen. And then even when he was beefing with the two,
Tommy multiple times.
He did. He finessed Tommy, and he hurt Tommy too.
Yeah.
He hurt Tommy bad that last time when he sold his product at his warehouse. But anyway, we keep going back to Power. We should have did reactions for Power. We were on it back in 2014.
We were on it when it first started. We've been long-time loyals. So Meth tells this nigga it's a 500,000 retainer. And Tariq is like, all right.
$500,000.
So you already know what that means. My granddaddy hustle, so I got to hustle. You know, he had to start hustling. At that moment, I already knew. I was like, all right, Tariq's not going to school. And he had no reason to do that before. Everything was cool. That's kind of like accelerated the situation. So then he goes around. That forces his hands and starts trying to, like I said, start trying to hustle. So he goes around, starts building his team. He goes to the white boy. He goes to the girl who fucking hosed him down the last time. Fucking
I was wondering why they made sure they showed that in the previous, because they made it a point to show that she knocked the chess
Chess
piece
piece.
down,
Yeah.
and that, you know, which I'm glad that you said something, because I didn't even know what that meant. Me not playing chess ever, I didn't know what that being knocked down even meant. But that was pretty good that you knew.
Yeah, because that was.
Which means she played them.
Yeah, she played them, and then
You that silently.
Right, and then she explained that though. Right when they met this time, she was like, "I couldn't even afford books, and you were selling drugs as a hobby. Like I had to take out the business. Like I had to take out the best competitor. You know."
Yeah.
So she did that as a business move. So he kind of trusts her. I'm like, should we trust Effie? Like I don't trust Effie.
No.
Like it can.
I don't think he do. That's why he's sitting with the other girl. I don't think he even trying to fuck with her like that.
No, he's not trying to be with her, but still, she's his supplier at this moment. Like, is she trustworthy? She says that she is, and she said that she was looking all cute on him, like, oh yeah.
So was it all a lie? Did you not like
he took the work for free.
Yeah, he did, and she smiled.
Yeah, she thought she was cute.
She grinned. She
was like, yeah, I like to get robbed. I was like, oh, okay, that's tight. So then, all right. So then after that, so then this nigga right here. So the next morning, again. He doesn't have an alarm set, but this nigga got 14 cell phones and shit. This nigga Kevin Gates with 2 phones, 0 alarms, wakes up late to his test that he had to beg to get into the class. So now this man's running around campus, looking like fucking Will Smith in any Will Smith movie. You insert the title. This nigga running. Fucking gets up there. He's late. They're asking this nigga's questions specific to the book, and lo and behold, this nigga Tariq didn't finish the book. He didn't finish the book. Come on, bro. You had one job. He was
late and didn't finish the book.
You had 2 jobs. And the guy Jabari was like, he's not gonna impress me. He's not gonna impress me. And then all of a sudden he's impressed. Like, bro, how does he
impressed enough to fight for him, to be an advocate for him?
Right, because the other nigga was like, bro, this nigga's late. Like, he's supposed to be given a special opportunity and this and that.
Right, you're missing the point.
And they're like fighting for him and stuff. So all of a sudden this guy's like, oh, so impressed. And I don't buy it. I don't know about this Jabari guy.
Yeah.
His judgment is...
The fact that she had to beg him to even give a fuck in the first place was kind of... But like I said, he's privileged. He come from money. He don't need it. But anyway...
So we touched on this a little bit, but this is where after this scene is when the DA, when she finally met her public pretender, fucking after she fired Tamika.
Oh God!
And this
porky ass bitch.
She looked like my public pretender. The only way she was better than my public pretender is because she could walk. My public pretender had a little go-kart.
Oh,
he came in with the papers in the go-kart. I was like, fuck man, I know I'm going to goddamn jail. I already knew. I was like, God damn it.
That's sad. It's not funny.
This motherfucker. So she came in there, Becky over here, spilling all her papers. She didn't even got the paperwork.
I'm so sorry. I have so many cases.
She's like, it's one of those days. Bitch, you look like every day is one of those days.
Right.
So she's going through this whole thing, and the DA comes in and sauces her, and she's like, she's going to do 15 years. And
oh, that deal's off the table. The person who shot him was between this height and this height. It was not you. You're too short.
Right.
Give us a name.
Right. She tries to throw Andre in the mix, and she's like, bitch, get that shit out of my face. She throws the gunpowder shit in her face, and all this and that. So at this point, Tasha's just looking stupid as fuck at her public pretender, and the public pretender still sitting there like, you should probably take this deal. It's just as good as it's gonna get.
Right.
15 years is as good as it's gonna get.
Right.
Hell no, I'm not going for it.
Right. When she was already begging her and asked her, could you give me the same deal that, what's her name, Terry or Teresa? What's her name? Tamika. She's like, can you give me the same deal as Tamika? She was like, what deal? Bitch, what deal? You didn't review my case before you came in this bitch? You didn't even look at my case.
Right.
Damn.
He just popped up. Bitch,
I'm
high profile. I'm just high profile out here, nigga. These motherfuckers, she didn't look at that shit not once. So then it goes over to the screen with this nigga Sax, the most fuck up cop in this whole series. Sax is the worst. And this is the thing that we were talking about earlier. She was saying that Sax is a good cop and his heart is in the right place and he wants the right thing and he was actually correct. And he wasn't crazy. He's like the bitch who's like sniffing a nigga's drawers and looking in the car for condoms and like, oh, these aren't my panties. And she's like, you're making me crazy because you're not cheating. But really all along the nigga was cheating. That's what Sax is to Ghost. Because Ghost really all along was committing these murders.
He was
really
guy.
the kingpin of the fucking drug cartel.
He was the bad guy, no
shit.
doubt.
But
no doubt.
Just the thing about what I'm saying is that Sax goes about doing everything incorrectly. And then he tries to not play by the rule book and gets caught every single time. Like, he doesn't even do it slickly.
Right. His hand get caught in the cookie jar every time. He's gotten fired. He's almost went to jail or prison.
he's like almost like comic relief almost. It's like he comes in like, oh, like he's fucking Kramer, like messing everything up, knocking over all this shit. It's like that's basically what he does. Like everybody would do all this hard meticulous work and setting Ghost up and all this shit. Even when Ghost came in and killed Miguel, remember when he slipped through the window and shit? And somehow Sax tried to pin that on him, even though he was already fucking caught, and he fucked that up. He fucks it up every fucking time.
He fucks it up every time.
He's let everybody in his unit get murdered and fucked up their prosecution to the murder.
Murdered or fired? Because Tamika got fired.
And Angela got murdered,
boss.
and the black cop got murdered, and Miguel got murdered, and everybody got fucking murdered in this fucking precinct, or fired. 1 or 2 people got fired. Everybody's got murdered. And here goes Sax. Fucking shit up. And still, he's the only nigga with a job. That's what amazes me. But he was the only Caucasian white person. All the rest of them, none of those other people were white. Yeah. So Sax is the only nigga with his job. He's fucking everything up. Fucking, what's his name? Yin Chin, forgive me. The fucking Asian DA.
Yes.
He comes in with the new guy, and they're telling him that he has to make them, I don't even remember what he said.
He wanted them to make Tasha like the queen pin.
Oh yeah, giving the kingpin, the kingpin stature.
The kingpin, queen pin stature. So, which they successfully did. They swooped up and got her with that, but
yeah, that was later on. So he felt different about that. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't, because he knew the truth.
But he owed Chin or Yin because he got him his job. That's why he still has his job today.
Yes.
Yin is the only person who got out of it without dying or getting fired because he just was like, fuck you guys.
He got transferred, remember?
He left. Yeah, he left. He was like, fuck, I'm done.
He left that precinct.
After he lost that one case, he put in for his own transfer and nobody knew about it. When he disappeared, he just was like, yeah, nigga, I did. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I bounced on y'all asses.
I was like, Sax is a low life. He's in over his head and he owes too many favors. He's going to soon have to bite the bullet at some point later. Like when he called Tariq out from the thing, and all that happened, I was surprised that she didn't put it on him because the only other person who could have corroborated that story was Tariq.
Right.
And why would he not testify to keep himself out of hot water?
And it was a good point earlier when when we had talked about it earlier when Tamika was like, it was Tariq. Are you protecting your son? And I'm like, why hasn't Sax put it together? And you like, because he trying to protect his own ass. He in over his head. He not even thinking about that. But that was a good point. I didn't think about it from that point.
Yeah, he got too deep. He already like trying to cover that. Nobody respects Sax, bro. His own family doesn't respect his name. They showed
his baby brother.
They showed him at dinner. All his sisters call him Nancy. His baby brother call him Nancy. His baby brother trying to send him. His baby brother know he gonna get fired. He's like, it's inevitable. He's like, I have a job waiting for you.
You an embarrassed dad. And the name.
He was like, Dad was like, he's so proud. He's like, he's restoring our name back to honor.
Right.
Bro.
Back to duty, civil duty, or whatever it was.
So enough about Sax weak ass.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, we don't want a 36-minute video.
So motherfucking, so Reek comes back to his dorm room for the first time we meet Standstill. And he's in there smashing him big. And that's when we know that Standstill's life is going to include a lot of drama. Standstill has no intentions of being in college. He only wants to hoop and smash bitches and party with his family. Right. And that's what's up. Because if I was Standstill, I wouldn't be able to stand still either. Like, shit, fuck it. So he comes through and he's literally having Tariq hand do his homework. It's not a tutor situation where he's like in interest of knowledge. He's like the understanding is straight up just do my homework.
Right. Period.
Right.
Period.
And Standstill must know that he has to do his shit or he's gonna be out of school. Because
it's a scholarship base. You're here to play ball.
No, Standstill knows that Reek has to do his shit or Reek is out. He must know that.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Or he just doesn't give a fuck to that level.
I didn't think
about that. To that degree of not giving a fuck, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he comes in and meets him. He takes him to a party for the first day that he meets him, which is a party at his family's house. Was at his aunt.
Which was a really, really lit party. But it is college, so I understand it. But the party was banging. I was like, okay. And Tariq don't ever go to parties. Now that you think about it, we've never seen him at
That's
a party.
why he was so amazed. He was like, I don't have much family. And you start thinking about it, like, no, he doesn't have family. He didn't really have any friends.
Right.
The only partying we saw him do was what Kanan was having him do. And he was all fucked up, getting linked out and shit. And, you know what I'm saying, he was slow and he was pulled up and shit. So that's really the extent of his only party. And then he doesn't have all those like crazy cousins or this and that. Ghost doesn't have any brothers or sisters. Tommy is his only brother, and Tommy ain't got no kids. Yeah. So the only people who he has is Yaz and Raina. Right. So that's pretty much. So he was seeing like he was like smitten by this whole like thing, and I was like, this is a perfect place for him being along with Stansfield. Is the perfect time for Reek to start getting off his drugs and selling shit, because he's going to be around a lot of people, a lot of high profile people, a lot of people with money, a lot of parties. So that's going to help him.
But do you think that if he does that, he's going to be in competition? Because I'm pretty sure his drugs that's already somebody's territory.
Yeah, probably his brother Kane. Yeah. That's why they're emphasizing how like deadly Kane is, and like, because who's right now, who would be, besides Simon, who would be the antagonist in this story introduced up until this point in the episode, besides Simon and the obvious police, who are always the antagonists. Right. It wouldn't have to be anybody except for somebody who's going to be in close proximity to you trying to deal drugs. And then they're trying to make a point to show how ruthless Kane is. So he goes into the bathroom and Kane is getting his dick sucked by some girl. And he's like, he doesn't make a big deal. He shuts the door. But the girl's boyfriend is like chirping up over it, and they tell him to go home. He tries to leave with his girl, and she's like, nah. She just stands this nigga up. I'm like, bro, what? Who does this? I was like, I've been to a lot of parties. I've never seen a girl suck another nigga's dick. Maybe I've seen another nigga smash another nigga, maybe, but never just be like, I'm not leaving with you. Get out of here. I'm not leaving with my man. Right. They'll be fighting together when they leave, and maybe later they don't end up together, but it don't be no shit like that. That's just like plain utter disrespect.
Right. Flat out. And then did you notice how the door wasn't locked? They didn't break stride. Usually you open the door, you kind of oops or anything. They just act like nothing happened.
Rick was the only one. He was like,
Right. No, they heard it because, again, you could hear the music getting louder.
Kane type of nigga always getting dick sucks.
Right, yeah, definitely.
The door don't open.
You have to make sure you bleep out those dick sucks.
Why?
Because...
Come on, man. I said I mark not for kids. Y'all already know. So anyways... All right, so then, they show this guy. He tries to come back acting hard with the pistol. Kane is one step ahead of him. Later, Kane comes back and kills him right in front of him. It seems like his mom had ties with the police.
Was that the same guy that he killed? That was him?
Yeah, that was that nigga. When he popped up on him on the staircase and then dome pieced that nigga.
It was nighttime, so I really didn't see his face.
Yeah, that was that nigga. He came and he killed that nigga just for causing altercations at his party and for bringing a gun back to his party. His mom, Kane's mom, which is Stansfield's auntie, seemed like she had connections with the police because they pulled up like when they called, and they didn't do nothing, even though they probably saw.
And she like grabbed him by his arm and let him. No cop lets you touch him like that or touch him. Period.
Right.
She led him back to his vehicle.
So when that nigga when he killed that nigga in the hallways, that's when I knew Kane was a real ass nigga.
Yeah, he shot him in his head and plucked him out his mouth. That was very, very, very gruesome. Very gruesome. You didn't like that shit? I mean, I had to just rewatch it. I'm like, damn.
He called him a bitch ass nigga after he did that shit. He was like, pop, pop.
And then smiled.
Yeah, and it was like
on some
bitch
Joker
ass nigga. So that's when I wrote down. My note was, oh, this nigga Kane is a real killer. Yeah. That was my note. Because I was like, oh, this nigga's about that life. Yeah,
and smiled. I was like, oh, okay. We see Bobby Brown getting a little weight, got a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. That was my nigga Bobby Brown from the, what was that? The New Edition movie? Yeah. So at that moment, that's when I realized that Tariq had a lot going on. He has a lot going on. Yeah. He's taking this honors class so he can graduate a year early. He's doing this other nigga's homework. He's trying to sell drugs.
Doing his own homework.
He's asking to meet this family. He's trying to talk to his sister/cousin. He's trying to talk to the light-skinned girl. He's doing a lot, man.
Talking to the other light-skinned girl because that's his connect.
He's trying to get a lawyer for his mom. He's trying to get her out of jail. Speaking of getting a lawyer for his mom, so at this point...
That's 7 things already. Tariq is in episode 1.
I'm like, this nigga, he got a lot going on. So then, I feel like the whole time with this schooling, they're trying to draw a parallel between Tariq and the person and the stranger. Because that person and the stranger killed somebody. And Tariq has a real personal connection. He keeps on saying, I don't connect with this person in the story. But I think that Tariq has a deep personal connection with this person in the story. Because that person in the story has a lot of parallels with Tariq in his life. They killed somebody. Tariq is like, you know when you are making that decision to kill somebody. But he's speaking from somewhere from true experience. So he knows that.
I thought about that a lot with the book.
And they're talking about how everybody around him doesn't like the decision that he made. So the person, Marcellus in the book, ends up dying. And so I think that may be foreshadowing to Tariq. Like, a lot of people don't end up liking what he did. Or maybe Tariq is trying to flip the script where he's saying, you know, since he is aware of that problem, he's like, I'm not caring what other people are thinking. I'm doing this outside of that, you know. And maybe he's going to change the narrative. But I think at some way, that is tying a parallel to his life in this story. And I feel like we read something that said it was going to be, this series was only going to be 10 episodes. So it might be this season and the season 2 of this. So I think that book is going to, I might look into that book later to see some, like, get some deeper insight. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Have
you noticed how nonchalant he is about the death of his father? He's like, going through what? Oh, Mom, they would want me to get back into school and think about it. I just think that he just showing that he don't give a fuck, and it shows like a lot. Like, he haven't even buried his father yet, and he's already just trying to move on with his life as if nothing happened. Yeah, he does keep on saying like, what? Like, he's saying it like so often and so casually, it's weird. Like, when he would say something like, isn't that bothering you? He's like, what's bothering me? Right.
What? I killed a fly? I don't remember doing that. Like, what, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, your mom is in jail and your dad is dead.
Right.
You could see none of these people for the rest of your life.
Right, and she's going to jail for murder. It's not like she is going to jail for shoplifting. So then the next scene after that, he uses Stansfield's phone to go live. Yeah.
And he like forced Meth's hand into taking the case by like saying, "Oh, thank you." Yeah, that was a chess move, bro.
Yes.
Because you're not gonna refute public, and once everybody's like, "Oh man, that's so nice of you. That's a big case," you know what I'm saying? And then he played on that nigga's ego when he was like, "This is the case of your lifetime. Like you have no choice but to take this case, and then once you do it, if you do great, you know that can make or break your career." When you do great,
he said.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was real smart. That's when I started realizing that he's playing on another level. Because when you get a lawyer like that, and then like that lawyer is already a smart person, and you get them like you have their hand behind their back like that, like that was a smart ass move. So I fucked with that. Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, damn. He knew to grab his phone, who had a lot of followers, because when the live first started, it had 1.8K views already, and I'm pretty sure it just went up from there. So he knew, like, because White Boy was like, take my phone. He's like, you know, ain't got that many followers. I want his. That's why I asked for it. I don't have no Instagram. So it was just a chess move all around. He knew exactly how to play. Yeah. So then after that, it pans back to her going back to court. So he gets him to represent her. They go back to court. They ask him about the person that she agrees to another deal, which is 3 years probation, same kind of shit. She gets to leave the next day, all kinds of shit. She just has to name who it was, and she pins Tommy as the killer. Which, tell us down in the comments, did you think that was a good lie? At first, I thought it wasn't a good lie, but then I thought it was a good lie because she could have just said Tommy killed Ghost, because their only thing was like they're lifelong friends, okay? But they dealt drugs together, and you know how messy that business can be. And then you guys they thought that Ghost killed Keisha, so I'm like, he killed his love of his life. So what man wouldn't go mad? Why wouldn't she just say those things? Instead, she was like, I told him to. Bitch, are you trying to say this, Do you not give a fuck about Tariq's mental state at all?
Oh my God.
Method was like, no, don't say that.
Right.
Too late. Then they dropped the case and hit her with the kingpin stature. That's what you get. That is what you get. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Where was the consultation before that? Who authorized that move? That wasn't a chess move. I've been wondering about Tasha, bro. She's never been that thinky type, bro.
No.
She thinks that she is, but unfortunately she isn't. She always ends up in some bullshit where Ghost or Tariq has to get her out. I don't know what that was all. I don't know what that was all about. So I thought the Tommy lie could have worked. I would have rather them just place it on Sachs, because, like I said, Tariq could have just pinned them there. Like, oh yeah, he said he was there. I saw him there. These other fucking cops know he was there. It was this nigga. Yeah, when you said when we was watching the show, you like they finna put it on Sachs, I knew instantly like that. Who else would it be? I didn't even think of Tommy. Tommy long gone now. So he all off in Los Angeles. I can't wait till that series comes out. Yes, we'll be watching that. Y'all tune in, tap in. So the last two final things really is, because that's when the episode ends. When is Sachs gonna fuck this up? because it's inevitable.
Of course.
It's inevitable.
Even his brother is already.
It's inevitable. He's gonna fuck it up.
Calling it.
He's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
Y'all let us know when y'all think. Let us know what episode you think is gonna fuck it up. It's coming soon. I'm gonna say within the next 1 or 2 episodes. By episode 2 or 3, Sax and I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Fumbled the bag.
That's episode 3.
He's known. Fumble the bag. That's Sax.
Always.
And
always.
the last question.
He always in over his head, and he not a thinky type. He not a what's his name, Stearns or Ghost type thinker. You know what I mean? He don't ever sit down and play it out. He reacts. He don't ever think.
If it was a Disney movie and Mickey was a cop and Goofy was a cop, Goofy would be Sax. That's what this is all about. And the last question was, when Reek was on the computer, who did he look up that appeared to be a Dominican dude when Mary J. Blige or Auntie was in the picture? Who was that? That was her dad or her husband?
That was I think that was the light skinned girl's dad. She said her dad was Dominican and he was inside. And then why would Mary J. Blige be with that guy? I think that was her man. That's what I think.
Okay.
And it had that prosecutor hand on his shoulder. So like somebody who like he was obviously clearly against Tasha, but he wasn't against that light skinned guy. So I don't know. That Dominican. So I think it was a daddy.
Well, let us know what y'all think, man. That's a lot. That was a lot to unpackage for episode 1.
Yeah.
It was a lot more. They came
good.
a lot harder than I thought they were gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm glad they unraveled a lot because they kind of left me dangling at the end of Power. But I'm glad they had a plan. I'm interested to see where this unfurls to because
on the edge of my
Tariq.
seat.
Now I'm a little bit in Tariq's corner, to be honest with you. That's why I gave that disclaimer in the beginning, because now I'm like, all right, young man. Let's see you finesse. Let's see where this goes. Let's see what level you can take this to.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
So let us know what y'all think about Tariq. Let us know what y'all think.
Comment, subscribe, please. Yes.
Let us know. Don't forget to hit those subs. Don't forget to hit that like, man.
Yes.
And don't forget, check out the Royalty Review. We do this. We do Lovecraft Country. We do trailer reviews. I got my music. She has her hair products, a bunch of different things that she does on this channel. So you can check out all those videos.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
And if you guys have any recommendations, let us know down below. We'll do them for you guys.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
Have a good day.